Hey gang, JC here, and this is the Daily Dose for Wednesday, September 28th, 2011, a combined venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. Great television archives, top of the page. We have our eye candy feature, Sexually Speaking, with Dr. Kathy Naughton down there, and our rock and roll poll question. Then we'll talk about the Cardinals here. What's your opinion of investigative reporters and news teams on local TV? And a whopping 72% of you said once in a while they do worthwhile work, but the majority, it's just phony hype and ratings grabbing silliness. 72%. Number two answer, they're all a bunch of ass clowns. 21%. So that's 72, 82, 92. So that's 93% of you that say that these investigative news teams on local TV are very occasionally worth something and the rest of the time sort of a joke. Only 6% of you think they do some sort of vital service, and I think you guys are onto it. I think you got the right perspective on this. All right, the trial of Dr. Conrad Murray in the manslaughter case involving Michael Jackson. Ball-to-ball coverage on the cable systems starting yesterday. Do you think Dr. Conrad Murray is going to be convicted on that manslaughter charge? Yes or no? Please answer in the corner. We'll have results for you tomorrow here on the Daily Dose. And, of course, where Trish and I are every weekday from noon to 3 on the Big 550 KTRS. Are going to be live from the new Lester's location in the Central West End from noon to 3 on Friday. And that's going to be very cool because they got all these specials and everything. You get a pound of wings for $5. And that's not just during our broadcast. That is the entire week this week, around the clock, and including Friday. And it's good at all three Lester's locations. But the new place is opening in the Central West End, and we're going to be there broadcasting live on Friday. All right. So, the Cardinals have, in some ways, already done it. You know, because even if this whole thing comes apart right now, or even if they end up in a one-game playoff tomorrow here at Busch Stadium against the Braves, even if they're eliminated, even if they go on, it almost doesn't really matter because for a team that was 10.5 games out of first place a month ago, and now they're, you know, tied for the wild card spot, you really got to take your hat off to this team because I didn't think they had it. The team, I know they're very tight, but they have not played well enough, I think, to be a playoff team. But, man, once you get into the playoffs, anything goes. Because we saw the Cardinals were a better team than Boston in 2004, but Boston won. And in 2006, the Detroit Tigers were a better team than the Cardinals, but the Cardinals won. Moral of the story, you get into postseason play and anything can happen. Now, obviously, if they win tonight, Atlanta loses, we're the wild card winner. We play the Phillies. And the first game would be Saturday in Philadelphia. Another game on Sunday in Philadelphia, which would be interesting. You'd have the Rams playing and the Cardinals playing the Phillies. Now, obviously, they're going to try and keep these games apart from one another, but, you know, you're going to have spillover all over the place. And you got Sunday night football and everything like that. And then Monday would be an off day, and then there'd be games here Tuesday and Wednesday next week at Busch Stadium against the Philadelphia Phillies. So let's see what happens. Just a word on the news that I did yesterday. We didn't have a Daily Dose yesterday because we had camera issues, so I went on the air with this on the Big 550 KTRS. I have it on reasonably good authority that there's something in the works involving a resignation on the part of Tony La Russa. When I say resign, I'm talking about a retirement. Not going off to the White Sox like a lot of people say, not going to Florida like some people say. We have it on somewhat good authority that there was a room set up for Tony La Russa on both Saturday and Sunday last weekend where the announcement was going to be made. But while they were getting ready to make the announcement, an odd thing happened. All of a sudden, the Cardinals got hot. The Atlanta Braves started coming apart. It became clear that the season wasn't going to end. For example, last weekend, the Cardinals would be mathematically eliminated and that there were going to be more ball games. And so the whole thing was wiped. But that it is Tony La Russa's intention to retire from Major League Baseball. And my guess is, obviously now, if the story is true, and I have reason to believe it is, that will come, you know, a day or two after the Cardinals' final game, whenever that is. So that's what we have heard, and we heard it from a pretty good source. And one of the other things that makes me believe the story is that the reasons that the Cardinal organization gave to people down at the stadium as to why this room was being set up, one of the explanations was so completely bogus. They said that Albert was going to have a press conference because it might be the last time that people would see him in a Cardinal uniform at Busch Stadium. And anybody who knows anything about Albert knows that he would never, ever put himself in a position like that, especially with games to play and especially with playoff chances looming. There's no way Albert is going to sit there in a special room and let reporters talk to him about the fact that it might be the end of his Cardinal days. So the fact that the Cardinals put out that explanation, and it's such a bogus one, tells me that they had something to cover up, and what they were covering up is the retirement announcement of Tony La Russa. This is what we believe. This is what we think right now. I have no reason to in any way amend what I said yesterday. So we are sticking with the story until or unless the story turns out to be false. So let's see what happens. All right, Ashton Kutcher and Demi Moore might be done. He hooked up with some 23-year-old chick. This is not the first time that he allegedly cheated on Demi Moore, and people are saying that that's that. Chaz Bono will live to dance again. Apparently nailing George Clooney isn't enough to hold America's interest. Elizabeth Canales was sent home yesterday. Chaz dances on. Andy Rooney. You know, let's just talk about, first of all, any 90, 91, 92-year-old person who gets him or herself up every day, gets themselves showered and dressed, and, you know, gets in the car, gets on a bus, gets on a train, asks for a car, I don't know, whatever the case may be, and gets into New York City. The weather isn't always great, and there's a lot of hustle and bustle and the whole thing. So anybody who at that age is still productive and relevant gets my complete and total admiration. The truth of the matter is, Andy Rooney, while delightfully annoying, has really done something that almost nobody else does, and that is get into your 90s and still get it done. I mean, just think about how hard it must be just to put your socks on every day when you're 92 years old. I mean, just think about that part of it, let alone getting all the way into Manhattan, you know, getting into CBS News, you know, keeping your brain sharp, just keeping yourself relevant. It's really an amazing feat when you stop to think about it. And Andy will say bye-bye after, 60 minutes, 33 years. But he is 92 years old. He will deliver his 1,097th essay Sunday, and that will pretty much be it. Rooney says he's looking forward to spending more time with his grandkids, or at least he would have if they hadn't died like 20 years ago. But Andy Rooney, that's actually sort of a cool story. All right, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland continues to just make people laugh at them with their latest list of nominees. The Beastie Boys, Guns N' Roses, and Heart. Okay, no problem there. But you got stupid stuff like Donna Summer, and even Laura Nyro. You know, I don't know about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. She was a brilliant songwriter and that sort of stuff. And Joan Jett and the Blackhearts, Shaka Khan, Spinners, Freddie King. Who else we got in here? Just goofy, like Yanni. In the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Yanni. I am so sure. And it gets even weirder than that. What was there? Some of the other ones in here? And they even put faces and small faces together, which doesn't even make any sense. So, you know, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland has some cool stuff. But this list of inductees, and then when you stop to look at the people who aren't in the Hall of Fame or whose induction into the Hall of Fame was unnecessarily delayed for decades, it's just you wonder what the hell's going on. Saturday Night Live co-stars Fred Armisen and Abby Elliott have broken up. As far as I know, nobody even knew they were seeing each other. Abby Elliott, of course, is the daughter of the guy under the seats, the regulator guy, the guy from There's Something About Mary, and of course just one of the funniest people on earth, Chris Elliott, who of course is the son of Bob Elliott, part of the comedy team of Bob and Ray, who also were a couple of the funniest people on earth as far as I was concerned. 12 new shows premiered last week. Two Broke Girls did the best, number 4 in the ratings, almost 20 million viewers. It helps that they came on after after Two and a Half Men. The Playboy Club did the absolute worst, only 5 million people. You put that against Monday Night Football, that doesn't make any sense. Why would they put the Playboy Club on against Monday Night Football? Makes no sense. The Rams game against the Giants, 11.9 million viewers, probably more than it deserved, if you want to know something. Bill O'Reilly on Jon Stewart tonight. The Colbert Report has director Ken Burns. Eric Mink was on the air with us yesterday. He said Prohibition, which also starts on Sunday night, like we need something else to watch. It's quite good. He gave it 4.5 out of 5 Minks. Think about, I gotta get a drink, hold on. Cranberry juice, can't go wrong. All right, back to the business at hand. Something happens, I sit down, start doing this, I start coughing. Next time you go nuts on Facebook, posting your whereabouts, keep this in mind. Burglars. Don't ask me how they surveyed burglars, but they did, and 78% of them said they use social media to find out who's home, who's not home. Survey also found that 74% use Google Maps to plan their break-in. Average burglar takes about $760 worth of stuff in 10 minutes. Only takes 2 minutes to get in with no security. And then 80% of them say a basic alarm system isn't enough to scare them away from a house. We had a guy, a professional burglar, on the air with us about 8 or 9 years ago. And it was one of the 2 or 3 most amazing moments in my 27 years on the air here. We had this guy on for a half an hour. It was just a guy who called in. It's not like we set up some sort of an interview or something. This guy just called in. We were talking about alarm systems or something. And this guy, we were fascinated by this call. And one day I'm going to play this thing for you again because it was absolutely amazing. All right. What else we got here? I got good stuff for you tomorrow. I got stuff backed up. I can't even get to it today. Arch West, the inventor of Doritos, died last week at the age of 97. He may be gone, but the orange residue he left all over the world will last forever. He will now be Frito-Laid to rest. World Series televised in color for the first time on this date, 1955. All right, JC's Eye Candy today. My God, praise the Lord. There was a miracle in the alcohol section. Go ahead and take a look at it. It's right below what you're looking at right now. And please answer our rock and roll poll question in the corner. Do you think that Dr. Conrad Murray is going to get convicted on the Michael Jackson thing? Yes or no? Please answer in the corner. Have results for tomorrow. We're on the air every day from noon to 3 on the Big 550 KTRS and live from the new Lester's location on Maryland in the Central West End Friday from noon till 3. Go Cards! In the meantime, that's it. JC's Daily Dose for Wednesday, September 28th, 2011. A combined venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. In the meantime, we've beaten this one to death. Have a good one. See you later. Bye!